Can Zeke deke again?
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. It's the final 3 weeks of the season, still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a 5-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
To throw on 2nd down, Delgado. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
The Eagles offense back out onto the field. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman, down to the 25. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Here's Coleman. And an alley to run. Now a loose football. Coleman lost it.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Here's Coleman on the toss. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On 3rd down, it's Coleman. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I'd go right at him with another momentum play. I'd go quickly, and attack them, because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on third down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Tevin Coleman, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. And, Charles, when you catch that toss going right or left, really, but right in this instance, do you go straight for the pylon? Is that where you're going?
Well, typically you want to try and maneuver people a little bit so you have some space to get to the pylon. So I want to make sure I try and move them a little bit to the inside, and in this case to the left, so I can get to the right side and get to that pylon and wink at it as I go by.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. I'm just going to be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On 2nd down, Elliott trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Andre Howell, the one to bring him down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Off-play action. Delgado trying to lay one up deep. He's got a man complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
Throwing on 1st down. Delgado throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. The give is to Elliott. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Hurry up, here we go.
Throwing on 3rd down, Hill looking deep down. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. DJ Moore, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. Prater for the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So that drive, 6 plays, 75. Yards, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And you can see by the X next to their name, they have clinched the NFC East already. For the moment, though, they would host a wild card game in round 1, Charles.
And for me, it brings back memories of how tough it is to win this division, because when I was a kid, there used to be a thing called the NFC Central that was known as the black and blue division. Everyone called it that because of how hard it was to win it. I think that's been transposed into the NFC East. I mean, trying to win that division, being able to get there, it's quite an accomplishment.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. With a lot of the media, Charles, ourselves included, starting to prep those MVP ballots, you wonder if last week's performance, which he admitted was not very good, if that hurt him at all coming down the stretch.
Less than 50 yards on the ground in last week's game that you referenced, and let's face it, if he has another game like that, we'll erase him from the MVP discussion. He won't even be talked about anymore. He has to bounce back with 100+ in this one in order to stay in that race.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go. Blue 45.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
On 1st down, Mahomes escaping the pressure right. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Coleman. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. On 3rd down, that's Coleman. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the 1st down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Garden. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on 4th. They'll run it with Coleman. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
I like the reasoning. It's too far for a field goal, and it's too short to really get a big field position edge on a punt. Let's go for it. And sure enough, it's the ground game that's able to convert for him on 4th down.
Coleman now. And a solid run down inside the 30. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Now they'll throw with Mahomes. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Bud Dupree in there to get him for a loss of 5. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now here's Mahomes. And he's able to get the 1st here as he's taken down at the 25. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a 1st.
How many times do we hear that 3rd down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the 1st down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key first down.
And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. This is Coleman. And they'll get him down right around the 16. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll toss it to Coleman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They'll get 6 on the play, and it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Working from the gun, Mahomes. This will be caught at about the 5. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now the offense not going anywhere. They're staying out there. They've converted once already on this drive. Here they go again on 4th down. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. So the decision to go for it turns out to be a good one. They get a couple of yards, and as a result, the drive keeps moving. It's now 1st and goal.
Oh, he's not going to get it by much, but on 4th and 1, all you're worried about is moving the sticks. And here he's able to fight his way forward for a couple of yards, and that's all he needed.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Tevin Coleman with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway, but he's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
On 1st and 10, Delgado. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Delgado going for the deep ball. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Adrian Amos, the safety, able to make the play.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun, Delgado finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. So on 4th down, here's Marquette King to punt it away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation, either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
Ace!
Now Mahomes on the bootleg. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That goes for a gain of 31. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital, where it was the Giants who were able.
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. forecast calling for more of the same as we are underway in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Right back to him on first down. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back-to-back good plays, have them on the move on first down. Mahomes now on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. How do you get much more balance than this? Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Green 90. Green 90.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Sharp there with his feet. Gets him a little extra space. And then drop just inside the 20. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's where you belong.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. First target, first catch, and a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up. They're mounting a nice drive here. Good chunk of yardage there again. O-line, they've been solid this drive.
They have that look about them right now that says, if you do anything but run the ball behind us, you're crazy. They have really moved it well on this drive, and they want to finish it off the same way.
He's going to get it running right. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Tevin Coleman, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch. Elliott
now to add the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Elliott now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept their minute by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question, he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Elliott on for the extra point. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they gave up the pick six, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to...
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Operating from the gun. Delgado. Quick slant. Caught by Moore. And he's able to get out to the 32. Brought down there. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Spinning past him. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's had a touchdown for every quarter so far. 3 here in the 3rd, and probably hoping he's not done yet.
And this is a situation where it's okay to be greedy. When you've already...
Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. And the Cowboys have recovered.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, well, he had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
Throwing to start the drive. Delgado. Adrian Amos. Safety able to make the play. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
3 down, 3 down. Here we go now. 3
Throwing again. Hill. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hot.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
Black 99 Philly, here we go.
To throw on 2nd down. Delgado under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
All right, here we go. Green 39.
From the gun, Delgado. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And oh, he spins past him and into space. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Most players will tell you that night games, while they can be fun, they're really hard to prepare for because you wake up on game day and all you want to do is get to the stadium and let's get going. But you got to bank that fire a little bit and hold it.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45.
From midfield, here's Mahomes. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Green 90.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
Blue 45. Blue 45.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, he shifts past him. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Tevin Coleman, 38 yards. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Elliott good on the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. So this drive spans 7 plays, and Tevin Coleman polished it off with a touchdown run. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Throwing to start the drive. Delgado. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Delgado. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Very difficult night for the guys on offense. They've got to be looking at each other in the huddle and on the sidelines. How are we going to find some open space to complete a pass and find open room to run? This defense all night long has squeezed down the passing lanes, made plays on the football. It's really been a thing of beauty for them. He's got to figure, all day long prepping for the game, they had to have talked about it again and again. Squeeze passing lanes, and we'll be in great shape.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me flip to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
Yeah.
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
They will run again with Coleman. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And a short gain down to about the 33. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing now is Mahomes. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Now to try the Eagle field goal, Jake Elliott. From the right hash, this from 53. And the kick by Elliott is good. And their lead will swell up to 28. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And
for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
They begin the drive with Coleman. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Mahomes going to throw it here. And he fends him off. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough 3rd down. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And incomplete, almost intercepted. Had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. And now 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now Mahomes. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to, because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So that drive, 4 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 45. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Philadelphia, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the New Orleans Saints.
You